Hi there everybody, it's Rarity here from inkybutterfly.com. Thank you for joining me today for another card making tutorial, and today we're going to be making some really quick cards, sort of last minute things for the winter season. So if you need something quick because you've forgotten some people or needed more than you thought, these are going to be really quick for you to do, and they don't necessarily need Christmas stamp sets either. So because I am going to use Mountain Air to create these cards today, this is an annual catalogue stamp set that's been in there for a while now as well. So it might be one that you already have in your stash or not, as the case may be, but a non-Christmas stamp set in use today. But I am pairing it with the Christmas to Remember just for the season's greetings sentiment. We do want something for the season, so that's there. But again, this is an annual catalogue stamp set rather than one that's in the mini at the moment. Okay, so it is the season's greetings that we're using in there, and like I say, we're just doing some really quick stamping cards, sort of single colour almost, just so that you could got a few extras to send off to people. Preparation wise, I've already did a whole bunch of the season greetings stamped a whole bunch of these greetings, I should say. There's too many greetings in that sentence. Okay, so already stamped and cut those, and I actually did that with the Stamparatus tool, and I lined up the I've still got it on my Stamparatus, so I might as well just show you just quickly. So I got the Stamparatus out and cut myself a 4-inch piece of cardstock, and I just did the hinge step method to just go down the card, and you can fit 7 in one pass, up and down the cardstock, and then I just trimmed them out using the trimmer, just lining those up just to get a whole bunch of those stripped greetings ready. Okay, so I ended up with 7, so we'll have some spares left over as well for something else if we decide we need to make something else. So we need a couple of those because we're going to make 2 more of these cards. These ones use Mossy Meadow, so I've used a monochromatic sort of style, so it's Mossy Meadow cardstock and Mossy Meadow ink. And then we just popped a little bit of the gold ribbon, just sneaks in behind there, just for some really quick and simple cards. Okay, so again, I pre-cut my card layers, so these are what I call my full card layers, which are 4 inches wide by 5 3/4, and they fit onto a card base, one of the International A4 cards, which is cut in half and scored. I'm going to show you how I make the cards from a piece of cardstock as well, just to give you that little bit of information. So 4 by 5 3/4, that's what we'll be stamping on. And for these 2, we're going to use Shaded Spruce, so a bit more of a traditional colour. And like I say, with the International A4 cardstock, and for our transatlantic friends, you can use 1 sheet of cardstock to create 2 card bases. American cards, Canada maybe, I don't know whether they use 8.5 by 11, but slightly different cardstock, so the measurements are slightly different, but is essentially half a sheet of cardstock. And what I do is I score first. I always make top folding cards, so I score on the long side at 5 7/8 of an inch here. Okay, so hopefully you can just see that poke in there. So just wear the 6-inch mark and then come in 1/8 of an inch, which is 2 ticks there, and use the light grey blade there just to score 3 times. Usually does the money, and then swap it round to the short side and score at 4 1/8 of an inch. So I've got something pointy. There we are. 4, and this is the 8th mark here. That's where we're going to cut that cardstock, 4 1/8. I always cut up, push against that bar. Okay, and then when you score your card, you may find that one side is just slightly longer than the other, but only by a fraction. It's the if that is the case, stick your panel to the longer side. The second piece is going to be a hair wider than 4 1/8, so I just take off that extra sliver. It's barely there, it's like a 1/16 of an inch or something, but just take that off, and then you've got two card bases there. Okay, if you do get any little fuzzy wuzzies along there, just a bit of a nail block gets those off really nicely. Just grabbing my and then just make sure that you burnish those folds at the top, and that makes sure that they stand up nice and neat and tidy. So that's how you can cut and score two card bases from a single sheet of cardstock, so they're ready to go. And then we just need to do our stamping. So I'm going to bring in my foam mat to do the stamping on, because we'll be going off the edges a little bit. Just put those to one side. Do a bit of butterfingers today. And a froggy throat apparently. Okay, so shaded spruce cardstock means we're going to use shaded spruce ink. So just open that out there, and then I've got the two trees from the Mountain Air stamp set there, mounted up on blocks. These are easy to hand stamp. You could use a Stamper Artist method just to help you do that, but for these cards I figured that hand stamping was going to be sufficient, and I'm not doing absolutely loads of them. So across the middle we're going to be doing this, okay, and we're just going to pop on some trees using both our first and second generation ink. That gives you a really nice sort of layered look over there. So we'll pop another one in over here slightly. Okay, and then maybe we pop another one maybe here or something. It's just to sort of build up some dimension. So a couple of those, and then we've got the smaller tree that we can use just to fill in some gaps here and there. Okay, so just some light tapping here and there. I might just pop another one in over here somewhere. Okay, and then we can pop in another light one. Maybe, yeah. Just trying to look for some balance with the colours really. Okay, I feel like there's a gap here. So I'm going to stamp off and pop that. You're not going to see that stamping off because it's on the back. And then that just finishes off that edge, if you know what I mean, without it looking a bit odd. I might even pop that little last bit on there just to sort of make sure the edge isn't all white there. Okay, so that's one. Then we can rinse and repeat with our second panel. Okay, so oops. So no two cards are going to come out the same. Okay, so you know you're always going to start in different spots and things, so they aren't going to be identical, and they don't need to be. And just don't worry about it. Just plonk some trees on, and try not to overthink it too much. I think I'm striving for symmetry and perfection and things like that. We just drive ourselves a little bit balmy, but we don't need it to be absolutely perfect. We just want that nice little forest line. That's turned out brilliantly, so I'm really happy with that. Okay, so that's about as complicated as that gets really, to be honest. Okay, so what we need to do now is pop on our little bits of ribbon. So what I do generally is don't know why I put that board away actually, because I would normally line that up with use the grid to help me line up the ribbon, make sure it's even across the card. This is, what do they call this? Shimmer ribbon, gold shimmer ribbon. This is, so obviously we need 2 bits that are just long enough just to wrap around the card. Just grab my ribbon scissors there, and just to do that, so we've got a couple of strips. So I'm just going to secure that somewhere around there, which is kind of where the base of those trees is. Get it kind of like straight and wrap it around the back. There we go. On. And then just hold your cardstock flat though when you're doing this, because it'll try and bend on you and then you won't get it straight. So there's our little ribbons in place, and then we can just put those onto the card bases. And these are going in flat. There's no dimension on these ones, which means they're going to go through the post dead easy. So just a few lines of tape across there just to secure them. Top, middle and bottom. And try and avoid the hot spots, if you know what I mean. Anyone remembers that TV show? Okay, line up your sides at the bottom, and then that should fit nicely onto those card bases. I always find it easier to do it sideways. That one's slightly longer, so I'm going to use that as the front. This is because the cardstock's dark, you might want to put a insert inside, just a plain white piece of cardstock for people to write on. So just cut another piece 4 by 5 3/4. In fact, I do have some here, so what we could do, in fact, is pop those on the inside and just use our trees again. Just to put something in the middle. That just gives you something to look at in the middle. Don't often do the middle of the card, but these are so nice and quick. We'll just do those for you as well. Okay, so again they can just pop into the front. Just make sure you've got it on the back and the way up. Put them upside down. Okay. Like so. And then all we need to do is add our sentiments across the top. So we've got ribbon here, so wet glue is going to be the best thing to do that with. Just going to pop a bit underneath as well, just to stop it gaping. And that glue will sort of soak through the fabric while it's adhering the sentiment as well. So I'll just give that a bit of stability as well. I'm not going to put any bling on, I'm going to keep it really simple. Okay. And that's it. Okay. 2 of those quick cards. Those ones We're in Shaded Spruce. These ones are Mossy Meadow. Insert any green here. So we've got Garden Green, we've got Granny Apple, all those. Evening Evergreen, Soft Succulent. There's loads that you could use. Pear Pizzazz, that'd be nice. Old Olive. So, and obviously I've done it monochromatic. You could of course mix the colours and do a bit more of a foresty look and all that kind of stuff and make it look pretty. And jazz it up as you like. But as a concept, just for something simple, that's what I wanted to share with you today. I hope you enjoyed it. Links are in the description, of course, as always. And that's it for today. Take care, stay safe. See you again soon. Bye.